Please put your hands together for DJ Demers!
How's it going? Good to see ya. This is great. So many smiling, friendly faces here. Thank you so much for coming out. So good to be here. Keep it going for Jennifer Lee, a wonderful interpreter. I'm just seeing if I can... I ran into a guy in the hall who lives right across from me in the Airbnb I'm at. Lee, you here tonight? Hey, what's up, Lee? Good to see you again, buddy. That's crazy. How many people are in the city? 4 million? 150 people at a show. I run into him on the 22nd floor of a Airbnb. Life, man, it's crazy. That's what I'd like you to come away from the show with tonight. Life. Crazy. I stay at a lot of hotels usually when I'm on the road. Sometimes the club will put me up. Sometimes I get my own hotel. And I like to go cheap. I'm pushing it. $90, sometimes $80 on Hotwire. I don't know if you guys have spent $80 or $90 on a hotel lately, but it gets dicey out there, let me tell you. Woo! Oh, man. Sketchy. And I get really worried in a sketchy hotel because I wear hearing aids. I take them out to sleep. I'm very easy to murder. Like serial killers don't even count deaf people in their final tallies, you know what I mean? Like, too easy. I'll stay in a sketchy hotel. I'll push a couch up against the door. I'll keep one hearing aid in. I'll sleep with one ear open, as the old expression goes. I don't care, man. They get scary out there. If I'm in a sketchy hotel, second floor or higher, never first floor. You want to murder me, you're going to have to wait for an elevator. You know what I mean? Take the stairs, get some exercise. You're going to have to do something. Man, oh man, you can always tell how sketchy it is by how much weed you smell in the hall when you're walking to your room, right? My first thought when I smell a bunch of weed in the hall, my first thought is, ooh, this is a sketchy hotel. My second thought is, sweet, I'm gonna smoke in my room. And the cycle continues. They always ask me how many keys I want when I'm checking in. I'm by myself. I'm on the road. One man, one key. Simple math. But I know what they're really asking, right? When they ask you how many keys you want, they're asking, you fucking tonight, too? What's happening? I'm not. I'm a married man. I'm not getting up to any of that funny business on the road, but my ego won't let me say one. I just can't. I always say two. They ask how many keys, I go 2 keys. Sometimes I even wink, I go 2 keys, you know? Sometimes I get carried away. I say, you know what? Make it 3 keys. I say, cut one for yourself too, playboy. I'll be in room 112, you know what I'm saying? Where the players dwell. That's for my 112 heads out there. I know you're out there. Peaches and cream? Come on now. Know what I mean? Peaches and cream. You guys know? That was the first track on my sex CD with my first girlfriend in high school. We made a CD just for boning to. Peaches and cream, track number 1. Genuine Pony, track 2. Couldn't tell you what track 3 was. We were always done by then, but I'm sure it was a banger. All right, guys, I'd like to take you on a bit of a journey here. I'm letting you know because it is a journey. It's a journey that I went on in the past few years, a journey of self-discovery. I learned a lot about myself, and it all started with my wife and I trying to make a baby. We were 35 at the time. We said, it's time to start a family. And then right away, in the beginning of this journey, we realized, whoa, this is like, we thought it was going to be a regular journey. We learned any pregnancy over the age of 35 for a woman is known as a geriatric pregnancy. Incredibly hurtful term. We both thought we were still kind of young, then we find out we're trying to make a geriatric-ass baby, you know? The hell, 35? So we're like, let's get cracking. 35, we do it the good old-fashioned way, obviously, just making love, casual about it, because I thought it would happen quick. I have friends who can, like, pinpoint the exact moment, like the love-making session where they conceived a child. Like I'll have friends who are like, oh, yeah, I remember, yeah, no, I was watching the ball game, Roger Clemens was on the mound. Linda came into the living room. She started kissing me. Next thing you know, we're making love. Ken Caminiti's hitting into a 6-4-3 double play. 9 months later, we had a beautiful baby girl. We named her Roger. So I was hoping it would be like that for us, easy peasy. It was not. We tried for like a month, 3 months, nothing's happening. 5 months, 6 months, and then at that point you start to go on like a schedule. You have to go on like it's like a rigid kind of, you're making love every couple of days, every day when she's ovulating. It's a grind. Like, hard work. Don't get me wrong, it was a lot of fun too. You know, I love making love to my wife. Probably more than anyone in the world. But top 5 for sure. No. I've never had better sex. She's the greatest sexual partner I've ever had in my life, so I feel very fortunate that I got to marry her. Terrible personality, but she is absolute dynamo in the sack. No, she's great. She's the best. So we're making love the good old-fashioned way, but it was a grind, and it was a grind because, like, it just, you know, anything where you have to do it, it's easy to just turn into a couple disgruntled factory workers just punching in for your shift at the baby-making factory. But we're like, no, don't let that happen. Bring the heat every time. It was important to passion. We wanted to have a baby that was born from passion, you know? Like a double orgasm baby. Like, obviously the man has to come to make a baby, but it was important to me that my wife come to double orgasm. I have no scientific data to back this up, but you just feel it. You know that kid's gonna have stronger bones, just on a structural level. Personality-wise, the kid's gonna have more of a zest for life, you know? You ever look at a soccer field, you see that one kid who's all like, I don't really want to. Poor kid, his mama didn't come. Not his fault. Hey, I don't suppose it's too late to get a stool up on stage, is it? I can see this becoming an issue for me and the audience. Oh, you don't mind if I put it here? I'm gonna mix it up at some point, you know that. You good? All right. Okay, thank you so much. It was a beer I just put down, right? Thank you, appreciate it. I'm watching you, don't be sipping my water now, okay? This goes 2 ways. You can sip it, I'm just kidding. But seriously, don't. I was kidding about that last part. So my wife and I are making love, 6 months, 8 months, not happening. Finally, a year, we're like, okay, we better take care of this, you know? We're no spring chicken, so let's go see a doctor. So I go see a doctor first. With fertility issues, they look to the man first. It's a lot like murder that way. And so I go to the doctor. First thing, I don't even get my first sentence out. First thing they want from me, semen sample. I got to give them a sample of my semen. And I know it's a medical procedure, but it's got to be one of the most awkward medical procedures in the world to just take a cup from a nurse and be like, okay, I'm going to be in that room right there performing this medical procedure. If you wouldn't mind turning the music up a little bit, please. Awkward as hell, man. I take the cup from the nurse. I'm walking over to this room. I'm like, I don't know what this room's gonna be. I'm like, is it just gonna be an empty room? They're not gonna make me use my imagination like a psychopath, are they? I go into this room. All my fears were alleviated. It was a quaint setup. They had like a 20-inch television, old DVD player with like pornographic titles from like the early 2000s, which was my heyday. Like, it was like, the whole gang was there. Jenna Jameson, Asia Carrera, Sylvia Saint. Felt like reuniting with old friends. It was crazy. In my memory of it, like Bob Seger was playing in the background. It was nostalgic as hell, man. It was beautiful. But then as soon as you sit in there, you're like, oh, but how long should I be in here? Like, I know it's a medical procedure, but I still got a reputation to uphold, you know what I mean? I got someone waiting for me right there, so I'm like thinking what time, like 30 seconds, way too quick. You don't want to be that guy, like, I don't even know if it's physically possible, but you definitely don't want to just come out of there right away. Yeah, they're like, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Couldn't even put the lid on, for God's sake? Man, oh man. But you don't want to luxuriate. You don't want to come out drenched in sweat after like an hour or something. Whew. Didn't know how bad I needed that, thanks. So I came out after 7 minutes. I thought that was a good, respectful medical amount of time. I was actually done after 5, but I hung out for a couple minutes and let my heart rate come down a little bit. But then it's so awkward, I didn't know what to say to the nurse when I gave her my sample, so I said the weirdest thing. I handed it to her and I said, "Do with that what you will." She's like, "I'm gonna send it away to be analyzed." Like, yeah. That's what I meant. That's absolutely what you should do with that. So I come back like a week later. They got my results back, full lab report with a bunch of numbers. I'm not a smart guy. I don't know science, but it was like hormone stuff, blood levels, bunch of different stuff. I knew what I was looking for, though, sperm count, because it seems important. And I learned most guys have between 60 to 80 million sperm, which sounds like a lot, but it's actually gone down by like half in the last 40 years. Like in the 80s, most guys had 150 million, and now it's down to 60 to 80 million in just 40 years. Doctors don't really know why. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. But so I'm looking for 60 to 80 million. That's the range I'm looking for. I look at the bottom of this lab report, big bold letters, sperm count, 0. 0. I'm like, 0? They're like, mm-hmm. I'm like, 0. Like, yeah. I'm like, you guys are rounding down, though, right? I got a couple little guys swimming around, right? They're like, nah, dude, 0. But they send me back to do the test one more time. I hang out with Jenna and the gang. I come back a week later again, and same thing, sperm count, 0. Damn, 0. Like, yeah, Azoospermia is the name of what I have. Azoospermia, which sounds like a delightful Pixar film, but it is it's a medical condition, and I got it. Azoospermia. My wife and I were devastated. No sperm in my ejaculate. So we thought we were going to start a family. We're like, I guess maybe we'll just travel, you know? Often and easily. Thank you. Feels like I'm taking it from you every time I sip it now, though. I don't know if this was the optimal solution, but I still appreciate you. Azoospermia. So we're like, damn, we're gonna have to start thinking about what life's gonna look like with this new information. But the doctor was like, no. This just means there's no sperm in your ejaculate, but if we look at all the other hormone levels, it looks like you're making the hormones required to create sperm. So there's a strong chance you're making sperm, it's just getting lost somewhere along the way. I was like, that sounds like my sperm, all right. I got a terrible sense of direction. I have no idea where I am at any given point in time. Like, I lived in Toronto. I'm from Toronto. I don't know where I am. I know I'm on the damn force somewhere. I don't know how I got here. I'm not kidding, and I'm a full human. Like, imagine these sperm trying to navigate these canals. Dark as hell. No Google Maps. Most of them are probably deaf as shit, you know? Echolocation all thrown off. Just bouncing off the walls. I picture him just a bunch of... He's like, you were following me, I was following you, you know? So they send me to another doctor to see, because if that's the case, if I'm making it, I might have sperm, it just has no way out right now. That's the promising news. They go, we're gonna send you to an andrologist to find out. So I go to an andrologist. You guys know what an andrologist is? A few of you? I had no idea. It's the male version, like gynecologists look after the female reproductive system. Andrologists are doing that for the male reproductive system. They get no love. You hear about gynecologists all the time. Rightfully so, they're doing the Lord's work, but I'm just saying, a little love for the people looking after penises, you know what I mean? The comfort I felt knowing I was going to see a doctor who specialized in penises, like, I'm not kidding, I walked into this guy's office, right away, he's just got paintings of penises up on the wall. 3 beautiful and I'm not like an art connoisseur by any means, but I know quality when I see it. These were beautiful, and I don't mean guys who happen to be naked. I mean like close-up penises, And you know how I know they were high quality? That thing they say with the Mona Lisa when you're in the same room? No matter where you are in the room, it feels like she's watching you. That's what was going on with these dicks, man. It was crazy. No matter where I was, man, I couldn't escape them. He had a sculpture of a penis in the corner, like real marble, I think. Like, I was like, oh, this guy cares. Like, this isn't a job. This is a calling. So he calls me into his office, big, gregarious, nice dude right away, like great vibes. I'm like, I love this guy. I'm gonna tell him what I wanted to say, like, since I feel so comfortable with him. I go, hey, man. I didn't say man, but I was like, hey, doctor. I wasn't that cool with them right off the bat, but I was like, hey, doctor, just want to let you know, I just want to say thank you for all that you do for penises and to show that much love to penises. I think that's pretty cool. He was a funny dude. He was like, I got to make it clear, I don't love them all. He was like, I consider myself like a defense attorney. I don't love all my clients, but I know they all deserve a fair shake. I was like, ah. All right, okay. Not much of a pun guy, but I like what you did there. That's cool. He goes, okay, enough chit-chat. Come with me to the pants-off office. He had 2 offices, one where you kept your pants on, one where you took them off. Pants on, pants off. Never had a doctor with a system like that before. The amount of comfort it brings you to know, in this office, my pants will always be on. In this office, my pants will always be off. To have that line be so clear, because I've had my ass and my genitals examined before. It was always in the same office. There's always that awkward moment where you're not sure if it's done or not. Like, your pants are still down. Seems like the exam is over, but they haven't told you yet. You're like, hey, can I pull my pants up now? Because you didn't tell me to, but you're talking about your vacation to Italy now, so I feel like maybe I can have my pants on for this part. Love when we sync it up. Just to reiterate one more time, could I get a stool up here for the water? Oh, thank you so much. Sammy, everybody. Sammy Fareed. Oh, I feel so good having a stool up here now, I swear to God. Didn't realize how much of a crutch it was. But thank you for the time we shared together. Appreciate it. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike? Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you, man. Okay, so I go to see this andrologist. He cares. We're having this moment. We go to the pants-off office. You know what else he did that was so cool? We're in the pants-off office, right? We get in there, and he started looking at his, because I took my pants off right away. It's a pants-off office. He starts looking at his little chart. I don't even know if he had anything to do, but he was giving me a second before he looked at my genitals to just give my penis a couple little tugs. And he was being cool about it. Because I don't know if every guy does that, but for me, if somebody's looking at my medical professional, I'm not insecure, but I'm giving it 1 or 2 just to put my best foot forward. You know what I mean? Get him out of his shell a little bit, that's all. No big deal. Not too many tugs. You don't want to be the guy. You miscalculate, now you got a raging erection in the doctor's office. That's a hard one to explain. I just love medicine. So then he examined my testicles. He's doing a physical exam, and he was like a big Tony Soprano son of a gun. Like this guy, big, meaty hands, perfect temperature. He grabbed... Honestly, he grabbed my scrotum. The second, I've never felt safer in a man's arms in my life. Like, just encased them, and I honestly felt in that moment like, I was like, there might be problems outside of this room right now, but within these 4 walls, everything's gonna be okay. That's how it made me feel. It was incredible. Grabbed my balls, 10-second physical exam, didn't look at them once, stared me dead in the eyes the whole time. And so I returned his gaze. We were just looking at each other for 10 seconds. Amazing. Honestly, 10 seconds, he goes, okay, I think I know the issue. Come back with me to the pants-on office. We go back to pants-on. He goes, I think I know what the issue is. I go, what is it, you think? He goes, well, based on my physical exam, feels like you're missing your vas deferens. And I was like, I've heard of that. I don't really know what it is, but I think I want it, right? I don't want to be missing it. It's important. He goes, yeah, it's a tube that carries your sperm over to your semen. It's the thing they snip when you get a vasectomy, a vasectomy. And he said, you just don't have one. I was like, don't. Why not? What happened? Could it have disintegrated? Because I was really broken. I was really poor in college, and I used a microwave as a chair for 2 years. Could that have done it? And he was like, no, that's not it. But you will definitely pay the price for that at some point. That was incredibly stupid. He said, no, some guys are just born without it. I know you feel the same as other guys, but the truth is there's a vast difference between you and them. I was like, no. Come on. Not now, Doc. No time for puns. But I think I kind of always knew there might be an issue, just because I've always had, like when I've watched the professional gentlemen in the pornographic films, they always, the amount of ejaculate they have, it's always so plentiful. Just so copious, and that's not me. Like, it's never been me. I've always felt, I know they're the professionals, but it's a wide gap. And every film I've ever watched, I'm like, I gotta drink more milk or something? What the hell is going on? And not just the amount, but the viscosity these guys got. They've always had, they look like it's like thick, gooey cupcake icing. That ain't me, man. I've always had more of like a light vinaigrette, you know what I mean? You think I want to tell the world I got light vinaigrette cum? I'm just trying to be honest and vulnerable with you right now. I'm not happy about this, but that's why I always suspected. But he said, we don't know for sure. That's what I'm feeling. He said, we're gonna have to actually go in and do like an exploratory surgery, go deep inside your scrotum like some fucked up episode of the Magic School Bus. So that's what we did. We booked this surgery for like 2 weeks later to see if I'm actually missing my vas deferens. And big day, because if I am missing my vas deferens, there's a strong chance I'm making sperm, but it's got no way over to the semen, so it's just trapped in there. We're gonna find out if I got trapped sperm in my scrotum. Going in on a mission. And I'm nervous, right? It's surgery. I know I don't know, any surgery I go into, I don't know how all the body and the veins and arteries are connected, but I think you can die from penis surgery. That's probably happened. So they go into the operating room, and then I'm on the gurney. I kiss my wife goodbye. They wheel me in. Like, goodbye for now. It wasn't that dramatic. They wheel me in. I'm nervous, but right away they had music playing. It was like beautifully lit. The music was great. First song when they wheeled me in, Journey, Don't Stop Believing. Like, it was exactly what I needed to hear in that moment. Second song was Pony by Genuine, which I thought was a little strange. They put a curtain up. I couldn't see them working. I could just see the tops of their head. Right before they started working, the doctor lifted his head over the curtain. He was like, just to let you know, you're gonna feel a little prick here. And I was like, no, you're gonna feel a little prick. He loved that one. He's gonna use that one again for sure. He goes down, starts working. I'm chilling. Anytime somebody's working on your nether regions, you don't want to distract them, so I'm just letting them do their thing. I'm just chilling. Just a small town girl. Right? Just trying to forget what they're doing down there. And they're working. The only time I spoke up was like 10 minutes in. I looked down. I saw plumes of smoke coming up from behind the curtain. Like, so much smoke. I was like, hey, doc. And he lifts his head. He's like, yeah. I'm like, everything okay down there? He's like, yeah, all good. I was like, okay, just had to make sure, because nobody mentioned anything about setting my dick on fire, so just had to make sure you had the right name in the docket there, you know? Thought you might be naming the new pope down there for a second. And then they keep working. Another 5 minutes goes by, and I see the tops of their head aren't looking down anymore. They're like kind of looking at each other. So I'm like, oh, maybe they're done. I go, hey, doc. I'll never forget this moment, as long as I live. I go, hey, doc, you find any sperm in there? He lifts his head over the curtain. He goes, oh, yeah. Beautiful sperm. And he went back down. I was like, you say that to all the guys. So they finish the surgery, we go back, they wheel me back. We go back to the pants-on office. I was pushing for pants off. He said that time was over. He goes, so that's the end of the surgery. It was a success. We found sperm. Our hypothesis was correct. It's in there. It has no way out. So it's just trapped inside, but we got some out of there. Any questions? I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of questions, actually. So I have sperm. It's healthy, but it never comes out. He's like, that's correct. It's crazy. How long's it in there for? He said, about 3 months your sperm will last in your scrotum. 3 months. What a lucky life my sperm get to lead. 3 months? That's a long-ass life for sperm. Most sperm are getting violently evicted in a day, maybe 2 days. My sperm get to set up shop, slowly pass away in the warmth of my scrotum. It's like Florida down there for these sperm. What a dream. I'm like, but then what happens? 3 months, it's got to go somewhere, right? Or else it would all build up in my scrotum and explode, you know what I mean? And the doctor was like, I do know what you mean. And what happens is your body absorbs it. Your body absorbs the sperm. I said, what the hell did you just say to me? Telling me I've been absorbing my own sperm for the last 25 years? That's disgusting. I gotta be like 95% cum at this point, you know? I thought I tasted something, but... That's why I eat so much pineapple, you know? I do it for myself. It's a crazy thing to learn, though. I was 36, and I learned for the first time in my life that I've been shooting blanks my whole life, you know? I got no life in my semen. I got vegan semen. Impossible cum. Beyond jizz. My dirtbag friend, when I told him I've been shooting blanks my whole life, my dirtbag buddy was like, dude, shooting blanks? Man, you could have been raw dogging it your whole 20s, dude. All right, there was no dirtbag friend. That was just my first thought when the doctor told me. And then I was like, oh yeah, STDs. And the doctor was like, what? And I was like, oh, just thinking out loud, doc. But yeah, they got the sperm out of there, healthy sperm. And then they brought it together. They got eggs from my wife, healthy, beautiful eggs from my wife, put it together, created an embryo, implanted one embryo transfer into my wife, and 9 months later, we had a beautiful baby boy. So it all worked out. Yeah. Thank you. We named him Jameson, Jenna Jameson. Oh, man. That's amazing. I love being a dad. I was in the room when he was born, like in the delivery room. What a trip. Honestly, like I thought I was ready. Like I watched videos and stuff before. Not human, but I watched like hippopotamuses and stuff. And that did not prepare me at all. I mean, not the same. It's true what they say. Hippos and humans are so different. Honestly, I thank my wife all the time because I was watching. I was like, oh, the human body can endure that? Like I thank my wife. She's like, oh, it's okay. I know you would have done it if you had to. Oh, no. I mean that with the utmost respect. I saw it. I know my pain threshold. No way. I could not. No. I mean, God bless my wife. I thank her for doing that. There's no way. I asked all my buddies, all my guy friends, if men had to give birth instead of women, would you do it? They were all like, fuck no. Are you kidding? No. We don't have the same. If men gave birth instead of women, the human race would be so close to extinction right now. There'd be like one child on Earth right now. It'd be a children of men situation. And that one baby would have been birthed by Steve-O from Jackass just as a funny prank. I'm Steve-O, and this is shooting a baby through my pee hole. Knoxville's kicking him in the nuts while he's crowning. No way. Yeah, I asked all my buddies. They all said no, no way in hell. Except my one buddy said yeah, but only if I could do it through my butthole. Which I thought was an oddly specific answer, but he had a whole logic. He said he watched some video with the porn star, and she said whenever she did a scene with a man with a large penis, she would request it anally, because for her, her butt muscles didn't hurt as much and they healed faster. That's what she said. And he said for that reason, I would give birth through my butthole. And I said, once again, dude, can't stress enough just how hypothetical this question was. But, thanks for giving me a little peek into your algorithm there, though. That was cool. No, there's no way. It was insane, man. My wife was in labor for 20 hours. They used a balloon to dilate her cervix. A balloon. I thought that was a pretty whimsical medical device for the 21st century. I was like, is there something special about it? And they were like, no, just pretty much a balloon. I was like, oh, that's pretty fun. And the doctor was like, it's not fun. I'm a doctor and I take my job very seriously. I was like, okay, my bad. And then he squeezed the flower on his lapel and squirted water in my face. So I thought that was pretty unprofessional. No, but it was crazy, man. At 20 hours, my wife and I, we were exhausted equally. Like, it was... No, obviously she had it. But I was laying on a couch for a lot of it, and the couch wasn't long enough. So my neck was getting really cramped up. Oh, it was stiff for weeks, man. So 20 hours, I think I got snacked maybe 4 times. My tummy was rumbling. No, it was absolutely insane. Oh, dude. I had to cut the umbilical cord when it was all done. We put that in the birth plan before. Seemed like a good idea. And then when it actually happened, because I'm frazzled. I can't hear. Everybody's got a mask on in the delivery room. I couldn't hear shit for 20 hours. I was like, oh, everything good? And they said something. I'm like, all right. 20 hours, that was my role. And then all of a sudden, baby's born. Everything's a little more chaotic, right? Everybody's coming over to me, handing me a pair of bloody scissors, pointing at my kid's midsection. I'm like, first of all, why are they bloody already? What the hell's going on? Second of all, you got to be very clear what you want me to cut right now, because I'd like to believe I know the difference between a penis and an umbilical cord, but I'm pretty frazzled. I know gender is fluid, but I'd like the kid to have a say in the matter, you know what I mean? So I just went for it. Yeah, you know. I think I did a pretty good job. He's got a nice, healthy, 3-foot-long penis, so that's my boy. You know what the worst decision I made was? We made a baby through in vitro fertilization, IVF, right? 4 days before my wife gives birth to our IVF baby, I watch a documentary on Netflix about this evil IVF doctor who was using his own sperm for years and years. I watched this 4 days before she goes into labor with our IVF. I did the same thing. I scuba dived in Australia like 15 years ago. I watched Open Water like a day before I went to do that. The one where the sharks eat the scuba diver. I don't know why. By the way, I didn't scuba dive. I just wanted to sound. Everyone else on my boat scuba dived. I snorkeled. I only snorkeled. So I watched this documentary about this evil doctor using his own sperm for years. Just an evil, no reason other than he was like, hey, I know you say you want your own sperm, but I got what you really need, you know? Doctor come. Evil. 4 days later, my wife's giving birth to our IVF baby, and I'm all paranoid. I'm like, if this kid doesn't have hearing issues, I'm gonna be pissed. Got me all messed up. All of a sudden, he comes out of my wife. I look right away. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Dark scrotum, very dark scrotum. And I got a white scrotum, you know? So I'm like, what? I looked at the doctor. I'm like, you show me your ball sack right now, doc. He was like, hey, I'm just the delivery guy. I didn't do the IVF. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. My bad. Still gonna need to see that ball sack, though. Can't be too careful. But then my wife was like, no, silly. He's got the darker scrotum because he's half Filipino. I'm Filipino. And I was like, oh, when were you planning on telling me this? I knew. I put it together. I knew she was Filipino, is Filipino. I just didn't know Filipino dudes had darker ball sacks, you know? I just didn't know. I've never seen one. Or I've probably seen one, but I didn't commit it to memory or anything. I'm not in the shower at my local gym just cataloging all the scrotum. Guatemalan, you say? I don't have that one. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your time. But yeah, when you got a baby coming, especially mixed race, I think, you're wondering, is he gonna have my eyes? Is he gonna have mama's nose? Didn't even consider the scrotum. Wasn't even on my mind, so it threw me for a loop a little bit. He's got the dark scrotum. He's got a different penis than me in another way, too, because we decided to not circumcise him. We let him keep the old foreskin, because I'm circumcised, and it's been a good life, you know, but... You do, as a circumcised man, I think about my foreskin quite often. I do. He was taken from me so young. I never got to know the guy. Like, I often find myself looking up at the night sky, just wondering if he's out there somewhere. Looking at the same moon that I am. So we decided, and there's no medical reason to circumcise. There's a minuscule chance something can happen with the foreskin. Not enough. We're not religious or anything. We're like, let's let him keep the foreskin. If he decides he doesn't want it, we'll let him make that incredibly painful decision on his own. People got strong opinions about circumcised versus uncircumcised. Crazy. My own mother. We called her to let her know we weren't going to circumcise him. She made a sound I've never heard my mom make in my life. I go, hey, Ma, we're not going to circumcise the boy. She goes, oh, Deej, have you ever seen an uncircumcised penis before? And I go, yeah, why? And she just goes, I was like, where did you go just there, Ma? Sounded like an old longshoreman recollecting the big one, you know? People got strong opinion. I don't even like that we call it uncircumcised. Uncircumcised. Un is a negative prefix. Why are we letting the negative people control the narrative? Not anything. It's just a regular-ass dick that hasn't been tampered with, you know? You know what I love about my arms? How unamputated they are. That's what I love. People ask me to describe my arms. I say unamputated, yeah. Yeah, a buddy of mine, his wife was pregnant at the same time as my wife. She was due like a month and a half earlier. And him and I were talking, and we got on the topic of circumcision, as you do. And we both realized we weren't going to circumcise our sons. And I felt kinship with them there. I don't know. It was important to me. I was like, oh, cool. We'll go on this journey together. Anyway, long story short, both of our wives give birth. We're hanging out a few months after that. I asked him, did you stick to the plan and not circumcise him? And he was like, no, we had a change of heart, and we did. We ended up circumcising him. And I was like, what the hell? I don't know why it hurt so bad, but it did. I was like, I thought we were doing this together, man. And what happened? He was like, well, my wife and I talked, and we realized that, he said, I'm circumcised, and we didn't want our son to grow up and see my penis and realize him and his daddy had different penises and develop a complex over that. And I was like, how often do you see that coming up, though? I feel like you might be overthinking that one a little bit. I've never even seen my dad's dick. And then I was like, damn, I've never even seen my dad's dick. That doesn't seem right. Now that I'm a dad, just on a family tree level, knowing where you came from, knowing where you're going, I'm looking at my son's little pee-pee every day. I'm changing his diapers, I'm giving him a bath, he's flicking it, I'm flicking it, we're laughing. That's my boy. It's his pee-pee. I love him. I love every part of him. You tell me I'm not going to get to see how that turns out? Doesn't sit right with me at all. I'm not saying I want to look at my son's dick every day for the rest of his life. I'm just saying, as a father, I think I deserve to see how it turns out. That's all. I'm going to see how everything else turns out. His personality, his face, the way he walks, the way he talks. There's just going to be one missing piece of information that doesn't sit right with me. I think we should establish a day where father and son get to take one last look at each other's penis. Make a ceremony out of it. Every boy Every boy's 21st birthday. Father and son go off to a room together. They shut the door. They lock it. Pull their pants down. 5 seconds maximum. Don't make it weird. 5 seconds. Just long enough they both get a look like a... All right, okay. My little rascal. Your scrotum lightened up. That's cool. Yours is longer than mine. I didn't expect that. You got your mama's dick. So I said to my friend that ended up circumcising his son, I was like, that's disappointing, dude, because I was looking forward to our boys hanging out together. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you know, obviously they can't hang out together now because I don't want my son to see your son's penis and realize they have different penises and develop a complex over that, you know? My friend was like, what the hell are you talking about? We're friends. I've never even seen your dick. And I was like, that doesn't seem right, does it? This door got a lock on it? I do love having our baby boy around the house, though, man. It makes life so much better. And I love him very much. And it's really easy being a parent. A lot of people were like, oh, get ready for a lot of sleepless nights. I take my hearing aids out to sleep, so it's been pretty chill. I'd love to help more, but this damn disability, you know? No, I help. I try. You know, my wife will wake me up at 2 in the morning. She's like, put your hearing aids in. He's crying. He needs you. I'm like, okay, I'll do it, but he doesn't need me right now. Like, I'll go. But that's the thing about being a dad, man. 2 in the morning. You'll never experience the level of disappointment that a baby feels at 2 in the morning. And they're crying their face off. And all they want more than anything in this world is their mommy, and then, hey, buddy! Oh, come on, is this a joke? Get mom. What are you even doing here? You don't got what I need, dude. What is this? I want those boobies, man. Obviously, my wife is way more than her boobies. She provides a lot, but damn, those boobies, man. They're profound. They're powerful. They're the closest a baby will ever feel to being back in the womb again. It's nourishment, it's home, it's comfort, it's warmth. And she gets to provide all that to our son. I get jealous of her, to be honest with you, that she's able to provide that to our baby boy. And then I get jealous of him, too, of course, because he's always sucking on my wife's titties, you know? All the time. I'm like, bro, relax. Like, I know you did no judgment, but it's like you've been eating solid food for a little while now. I mean, this seemed more like a power move than anything at this point. We were just eating salmon a half hour ago, for God's sake. And he knows it. He'll pull his head off to a full 180 just to smile at me. He's like, Oh, this is amazing. You got to try it, man. I'm like, yeah. No, I was you before you, dude. I was in there as much, if not more than you, dude. Now, crazy. All day long. I still get in there from time to time, though, but it is interesting that first time you suck on your wife's breast and she's still nursing and you get a hit of the breast milk, you're like, oh, I don't know about this. And then very quickly, you're like, this is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted in my life. And rejuvenating. I had a scab on my knee for 11 years. One hit of breast milk, healed right up. Now I get on one boob, my son's on the other. We're looking at... That doesn't happen. I tried that once. My wife pushed me out. She said told me I was crossing up the wires. But I really love having them around, man. I don't use the B word very often, but I feel blessed to have our son in our life, and it's through the power of IVF, science. Isn't that crazy? Science. Like, IVF is a beautiful process, a process I don't fully understand, but I know it worked out beautifully for us. It doesn't always for people. Some people go through like 10 cycles before they conceive, or 10 without any luck, they go into debt. Like mine, I'm lucky that it happened on the first try. You know, my sperm were trapped in the prison that is my scrotum, but once they got out, they were ready to fucking rock. You know what I mean? Like Nelson Mandela. Some people, I have a family member who's going through the whole thing. They went through the entire IVF process, and right before the very end, they conceived naturally, the good old-fashioned way. And they were like, isn't that amazing that that happened? I'm like, absolutely. But all I can think about is how much money you spent. Like, I'm very happy for you, but so much money, too. Like, if that would have happened to me, I just know I would have been like, nah, fuck that. You put this one in, too. We're gonna see which one wants it more, you know? Nature versus science, the ultimate battle. I feel lucky. A friend of mine, though, a real friend, not the dirtbag in my head. He said, so you're shooting blanks, your sperm never comes out. I was like, that's right. He's like, so if you think about it, like, you weren't supposed to procreate. I was like, yeah, I guess. He was like, no, think about it, dude. Like, the line was supposed to end with you. I'm like, I guess. He's like, no, really, though, dude. Like, if you think about it, your baby is an abomination of God's will. I was like, I mean, I prefer the term miracle, but... Immaculate conception. Tomato, tomato. And you know what? I think I made a really good decision because I was worried. We were focusing so hard on making a double orgasm baby. And then through the power of science, you're able to make a 0 orgasm baby. And I didn't know what that was going to look like, so I didn't leave anything up to chance. And we ended up still making a double orgasm baby because when they were doing the embryo transfer with my wife, I was sitting right beside her. I was holding her hand. And with my other hand, I was gently pleasuring her. And they kicked me out. They didn't know how important it was to us. So I ended up jerking off in the car. Twice. With passion. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll